Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. Earn more pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Let go and earn more pay. Hard work, work. Put the boots on and lace them up. Hard work, work. Another day to work. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what they say. Hard work, work. Hard work. I earn my pay. Hard work, work. Move on now. Hard work, work.
All right, want to welcome everybody to another edition of We the Vets Podcast 2022. We want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Want to salute y'all, man. We want to thank y'all for being dads. But we want to welcome everybody to another edition of We the Vets. I'm your co-host, Mike P. We got my man JD all the way from the parts unknown. And our brother Walt, man, he'll be back with us soon. He out this week, man, so y'all keep him in your prayers. JD, what's up, man?
Hey, man, ain't nothing, man. Ain't nothing. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day.
I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. You know, it's still time, man. It's still time.
I'm good. I'm good.
You can be out that camp. You can be out that camp before you hit Social Security age, man.
You ain't never out that father camp. I don't care how old they are. You ain't never out of that.
Hey, listen, man. When mine turned 26, man, it's just me by myself, man.
Mm-hmm. I hear you talking.
Oh, man.
I hear you talking.
Hey, man, so we're going to start off today, man, you know, talking about Father's Day, man, and what Father's Day really mean, you know. JD, you want to kick it off, man?
Well, I think I should let you kick it off. You are, like you tell me the one all the time, you know, last one out, you know what I'm saying? So you go ahead and put us on. I'm an observer. You the expert, brother.
All right, so to me, Father's Day. So I'm the father of, and I say this, I'm the father of 3 beautiful daughters, and I'm the uncle / father / godfather / god uncle to probably about 1,000 boys. Okay. You know, so young men now. You know, and I always tell my daughters, you know, y'all got brothers all over this country, you know, and I've been fortunate enough to coach and mentor some of the brightest and best and some of our future leaders, as well as raise 3 beautiful daughters, and I call them the World Takeover, the NWO, New World Order. You know, because that's what they coming to do, man. They gonna be like Hulk Hogan and Big Diesel when they went to WCW.
Yeah,
that's what they gonna be, man. They gonna be NWO, New World Order. You know, but being a father, man, is one of the roles that is probably the most. It's probably the one I enjoy the most. Because, you know, there's no rule book to this.
No.
You know, ain't no rule book to it, ain't no handbook. You know, don't nobody sit you down and say, hey, here go this class you got to go through. But most of us, you got it, now you got to deal with it. Figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, and I've had a lot of great role models over the years. Some men that I've looked up to, that I've just watched and seen what they did, and I've tried to put my kids on the same path. You know, so I got a couple uncles who were able to put their kids through college, you know, and teach their kids how to be good people. And that's what I've tried to do, you know, and at the end of the day, you know, that's all we can do. You know, you try your best to be in your kids' lives, make sure that your kids know who you are. They got a relationship with you. They know what you stand for and that you love them. And that's what I've always tried to do. You know, my biological dad, him and I've always known who he is. I've always had an idea that him and I were very similar, you know, and our relationship has gotten stronger over the years, you know. So I want to salute that. And then my stepdad, Nellum Grant, this is the second Father's Day that has occurred that he's not here. He passed away right before Father's Day last year, and he was a huge inspiration in my life. He meant so much to me. You know, he challenged me in ways that other men didn't, and probably didn't know how to. You know, but he challenged me in those ways, taught me a lot as well. And then my other father figure, he passed away in 2018. That was my grandmother's brother, my Uncle Tan. So he helped raise me from a baby up to my teenage years. You know, so everything I learned about being a man, going out into the world, I learned from him. You know, so and one of the most valuable things he taught me was when you go into a room, close your mouth, open up your ears. God gave you two of them in one mouth. The most powerful man in the room is the man that knows what everybody in the room wants, and he knows how to supply them. Supply and demand. They want something, and if you can get them what they want, you'll be the most powerful man in the room. He said, a man that's doing the most talking in the room, 9 times out of 10, he ain't got no power with him. And so I've always carried that with me, that wherever I go, I close my mouth and I open up my ears to listen. So that's my Father's Day, you know, journey wrapped up in about 3 minutes.
Okay. Well, mine is very similar. I don't have any kids. Let's go ahead and get that disclaimer out there right now. No kids, but I've had you know that saying, it takes a village. So I've had multiple father figures. Of course, my dad, awesome dude. Learned a lot from him. But I had a stepfather. I've had some of my brothers. I kind of consider I learned a lot from them. As I look to my co-host, Mr. Patterson over there. Also, I got Walt, who's not here with us today. Some of the NCOs that I served with in the military, who were my leadership, I kind of saw some of the positive things they did as men and kind of took those. So mine journey has kind of been a hodgepodge of all those different great mentors and leaders that I had. And the closest thing that I come to, you know, as far as being a father is, of course, being an uncle and, you know, and things of that sort. But in the military, you know, just being a platoon sergeant, and you got young men and women that come in there all the time looking for guidance and leadership, and you got to provide that. And sometimes you kind of sort of step into that role as far as a father figure, and just trying to take all those lessons that I learned from my father and different men that I've had in my life, and pass those down. So it's one of the many things, one of the biggest thing that I miss being part of the military is being a mentor and kind of leading people down the right path, instead of you see them going the wrong way and kind of, you know, pull them aside and say, hey, you know, don't want to go this way, you want to go that way, and kind of give them that guidance and leadership. So I do miss that, but shout out to all the real dads out there, because that ain't me. So I got much respect for Pat, any of these other fathers out here doing your job. There's no manual that comes with it. You just got to figure it out and do the best you can to have your kids come up and be just good people. So shout out to you guys.
Definitely appreciate that, man. Definitely appreciate it, man. And, you know, along the way, like, you probably don't realize how many those shoes you stepped into, that you feel along the way, man. So my brother, I salute you, man. I salute you.
Hey, I'll take it, but I mean, you guys are the real deal, 24/7, 365 dads out there, man. Y'all are the main deal. So my wife just looked at me like I was crazy because she counts our dogs as kids. So I don't think it counts, but she does. So.
Well, if she count them, then they count. Then happy Father's Day.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate
it. Happy wife, happy life.
Yes, sir. That is true.
Hey man, but look, man, we celebrating something new this year, man. We celebrated something new. I was part of it yesterday. You're gonna be part of it today. Juneteenth, man. Juneteenth. In Southwest Florida, we kicked off 2 events. One in Lee County, Fort Myers, and one in Collier County, Naples. And we had a great turnout for both events, man. I salute both Juneteenth chairs and their committees for putting on 2 great events, and JD, you want to educate them on what Juneteenth is, man, and why we celebrating it?
Rough in a nutshell, essentially it's the Emancipation Proclamation came out after the Civil War, and there were slaves that still wasn't notified for 2 years down there, and especially down there in Texas, and then they were notified. The reasons why they weren't notified for that long period of time, the slave owners wanted to get that final crop in and things of that sort. Pretty foul, but this is not a new holiday, but it has been new as far as federally recognized last year, and I'm glad to see it being celebrated in more different states. The first time I had ever heard of it, I was stationed in Fort Carson, and they actually had a celebration out there, Juneteenth in Fort Carson, way back in the day. Like, this is 2000. So, and I didn't know what it was, and then my uncle had, schooled me up and was like, "Hey, this is what it is. This is why we celebrate it." And it's kind of funny how a lot of the stuff, as far as Black history, Black culture, I learned as an adult. Really, kind of, that's a whole nother topic for a different subject. But that being said, I am glad that it's being it's nationally recognized as a holiday that we should celebrate and remember. Just it's part of history. Like, I keep hearing a lot of people say we got to remember our history. We won't lose our history. Well, let's remember all the history. So definitely happy that we're doing that, celebrating.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I remember being a little boy growing up in South Georgia, and I remember where I grew up in the country, and every June there would be a big baseball game, and everybody in the community would come out, man. Everybody would come out, and then as I got older, it just went away. Then we start celebrating the 4th of July. Now I know that they were celebrating Juneteenth. And we had a guy in our neighborhood. Everybody called him Uncle Shine. Uncle Shine used to make this big old batch of lemonade. It was I'm talking about a huge thing, man. It only fit on the back of his truck. And man, it'd be the best lemonade in the world, man. So when Uncle Shine brung out the lemonade truck,
brought everybody out.
You already know what time it was, and everybody would cook, man. I just remember that being a little kid, man. I was probably 3-4 years old, and over the years, like, we've let a lot of those traditions, die away, because as we got older, some of them wasn't passed down to us on a communication level.
Right.
And then a lot of us left, left and never came back home. As far as like to stay, so Juneteenth for me, when I got to, and I'm like you, I learned a lot of Black history. Or let me say this, I learned some Black history from my family.
Mm-hmm.
I got a lot of meaning of it when I started college. After I got out the military and I went to college, and there was a social study teacher, young guy, and he was like, "Yeah, I want y'all to study African American poets."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I go to the library,
It's a huge
African American poet, and I come across this dude by the name of Langston Hughes. Langston Hughes opened the door of all my African American history learning, because Langston Hughes took me to Zora Neale Hurston. Zora Neale Hurston took me to W.E.B. Du Bois, and it wasn't in no chronological order. W.E.B. Du Bois took me to Frederick Douglass. Frederick Douglass took me to Harriet Tubman. Harriet Tubman took me to Martin Luther King. Martin Luther King to Malcolm X. From Malcolm X to Marcus Garvey. Then I started learning about the HBCUs, and then finally I learned about this called Juneteenth. And I believe I was watching a video, and it was this family. They were putting a hog into the ground, and the name of the video was Juneteenth. And somebody had recorded it back in the 70s, and they were digging up the dirt, and they had a big box, and there was a hog in it, and they were putting it under the ground, and I was like, that can't be good. But at the end of it, when they dug it back out of the ground, man, that meat was just falling off the bone, man, and so that was my introduction to it. And I think I was with you in Colorado when your aunt used to get them history lessons.
Yeah. Yeah. So enough, man. Hey, all those books, man, they get you. Did you ever touch on James Baldwin? Any James Baldwin's work?
Man, I just got to James Baldwin like within the last, maybe during the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
Because when I got into the Harlem Renaissance, like that's really where I got, because he led me right into the Harlem Renaissance. And no lie to you, I was stuck in the Harlem Renaissance for like a whole year.
Yeah.
And to me, Zora Neale Hurston and Langston Hughes, I always thought they should have got married. I don't know why I thought that, but but I started reading her books. One of her main books, that Their Eyes Were Watching God. And then I ended up going to, so where she's from is called Edenville, Florida. It's right outside of Orlando. Her dad was the first Black mayor in the history of this country. Edenville, Florida, it was the first town that was incorporated by African Americans in the history of this country. So there was a lot of history that was there. And I've been trying to get to the festival, and I hadn't made it yet.
Well, let me know when you're going. We'll go together, because I'm from Florida, and I had never been to Edenville's the festival, so I would love to go, definitely.
So we got to go, man. And so
I'll make that a trip.
Yeah, so that's where it took me at, man. And I every year I learn more and more, And James Baldwin, like I said, man, I'm just not to his doorstep right now.
Okay.
And I'm to his doorstep by the way of videos.
Mm-hmm.
And I kind of do it a little different. I look at the videos, and then I go back and I read.
Yeah.
So cause I'm a visual learner, so I see it. Now I got all these questions, and then normally the reading answers most of those questions for me. Yeah. So yeah, man. Happy Juneteenth to everybody. Everybody out there. And if you got any question about Juneteenth, man, please DM us. Please say something in the comment, man. You know, we ain't the reason why I let JD explain it, because the last time when I don't know, you remember when when Eric was on here, and I said I was a historian, and I botched the whole
You good. I mean, hey, I'm still learning about it myself. But yeah, you ask the questions, we'll find the answers for sure. Because I want to know too. So if I jacked it up, please square me away. I can take criticism. That's fine. But if you say something and you wrong too, don't do that.
Right, don't do that.
Don't do that because
don't do that.
Go through trouble.
You in trouble. You know. See what happened when Walt ain't here, man. We go on our own little tangents.
Yeah. Usually it's him by himself.
Right. Shout out to the brother down there in Alabama, man. Y'all keep my dog big up. Big up my dog, man. Crimson Tide, Roll Tide.
Roll Tide.
But now we're finna transition to this other subject that's going on. That's all I can say about it.
Yeah.
This January 6th. Now, JD, I know this your thing here, man. This your thug thizzle. This your Tupac. Man, this your thug passion when we get to this.
I guess I should. I just hate seeing double standards. I really do. I'm so tired of seeing, if it was another group of people outside of the group of people that did what they did in January 6th, this story would be totally different in the news. It would be there wouldn't be people that's going on vacation before they're getting ready to get prosecuted and go to trial. They would have had to go through their court date and do what they had to do through the court system. Probably would have been a lot more protesters and rioters would have, a lot more of those people would have got shot, and a lot more people would have been held accountable. So I just feel like just watching it and seeing everything going down, and then watching the different spin on the different channels of how they spin it, fit their narrative. It's just, I'm just tired, man. I know usually I have a whole bunch more energy, man, but I'm just tired, man. I'm exhausted watching this, and I have conversations with people who think different from me. I think that it's good to do that, but let's have a conversation. Let's not have an argument, because facts are facts all day long. You can't have alternative. There's no such thing as alternative facts. So, you know what I'm saying? We can have a discussion, but when the facts come out, that's it. I mean, I'm not, and I'm not here to change anybody's mind either. If you believe that it was a good thing, that what happened on January 6th, that's your opinion. This is America, and we have the freedom of speech and the freedom to think how we want to think and all that good stuff. So it's all good. But as far as me go, man, Mike, I'm just tired, bro. I'm exhausted. I literally
Oh man, I can feel you, man. Because we all know how January 6th should have went down. We know how it should have went down, and it didn't go down like that. And so if you think about the BLM movement, where when the president came down because he wanted to take a picture with the Bible upside down, the force that he had those troops to go in there with, that was force. Mm-hmm. Now you got a group of people who attack. They attack what we say is the backbone of our democracy. Right. They attack it, and we don't even want to think nothing of that.
No, not at all. And when you watch the I don't mean to cut you off, but when you watch the hearings, that they're having right now, and you see that they actually asked for that force to protect the Capitol, and they were turned down. Like, how were they turned down?
Right.
That would make no sense.
Right. You know, and that's where, you know, the Ghetto Boys had a song back in the day. My mind playing tricks on me. I do not own the rights to that song, okay? We do not own the rights to the song, okay?
We ain't playing no music, so yeah.
You know, and we ain't playing the music, but that's really what, to be honest, that's really what seems like we're going through right now, man. You know, and more so the Bushwick Bill version, you know, his verse of it, you know. And if you don't know who Bushwick Bill is, man, go ahead, Google him. If you don't know who the Ghetto Boys is, go ahead and Google them. Okay, legends out of Texas. Okay, so go ahead and Google them. But you know, that's what it feels like where we are right now. You know, and then my other thing is, a lot of these people say that they're Christians, but they ain't got no faith. So, and I challenge anybody. It's almost impossible to be a Christian and you have no faith. Like, you're not a Christian, because a Christian has faith. Hebrews 11:1. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, but the evidence of things not seen. So if you was a Christian and you took that into your own hands, then that we call that phony. That's a fake. And now we got to start calling people what they are. Like that. That's really where we at right now. We got to start calling people what they are. You know, phony and fake. You know, and so that's like me. That's like me coming on here and saying, "Man, I'm a bodybuilder." You know.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, come on, man.
They ain't lift nothing.
Right. I promise you I ain't gonna be at the gym in the morning. I promise you that.
I don't do that too.
But if I came on here every day and said, man, yeah, man, you know, I went in and looked the whole gym today, man. Slept right through that alarm button. That's what these people out here doing, JD. That's what they doing. They not being real with themselves, man.
Oh, not at all. You got pastors out here saying that if you believe in democracy and you believe differently from the people of January 6th, that you should go to hell.
Crazy.
You are a pastor of a church.
And when they said that they got their first class ticket right then.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, yeah. They talk about that type of stuff in the Bible too. So,
yeah, they got their first class ticket, man.
First row of that heat.
Right.
Ooh.
And it hotter than Florida. I know it gotta be. And that Florida heat tough, boy. Woo. That Florida heat is tough. You know. But you know, we as a people just gotta do better. And the thing is that if we just did right by people.
That's it.
That's all it comes down to, just doing right by people. And I wanna say it's easy, but it's not. Doing right is probably the hardest thing in the world to do. You know,
yeah, especially when you're selfish.
Right. You know, I wrote a chapter about this man right here, JD, in my book. You know, and it talks about being a champion. And as long as I've been knowing this brother, he's always done right by whatever the situation may be, whether it was gonna hurt him or not. Especially if it was gonna put him in a bad. He always what's the right thing to do. He gonna do it. And I've seen him be in a lot of situations where he didn't have to. I promise you, he didn't have to. He could have I'm gonna take this on me, and he didn't have to do it. But it was the right call at the right time, and that's what being a champion is. you know. And so I always champion him, man. Like he always what my thing at. Yeah, he champion. He a champion, man. That's why I put him in the book.
I appreciate you, man. You are definitely too kind, for sure.
You know, and so, but it's but JD, it got to be the hardest thing in the world to do, just doing right.
I guess it's just how you built though. It's got because I don't see it like that. I just feel like yeah, it's hard because there's some situations, and when you said what you just said, I started thinking, yeah, it's hard. There's some situation where you be like, dang, I could just easily be like, nah, I ain't had nothing to do with that. I ain't. Mm-mm. So yeah, I could see that being hard. But what's harder, waking up, looking in that mirror, and feeling like, man, I showed this. That was foul. What I did. I can't look at myself the same way. You know, I think that's harder is looking in that mirror and not being, you know, who you supposed to be, who you think you are, you know.
Right.
So
yeah, I'm right there with you, you know. But maybe at some point, man, people will get it. Or we're gonna continue down this spiral we on, this downward spiral. And now things are gonna get crazier because the Fed, they just raised the what was it, 0.75 interest rate? They just raised the interest rate.
Yeah.
So it's really about to get tough out here.
Yeah, for real.
You know, so you know, for all our viewers, man, watch your back, watch your family's back. You know, save up. Like the rainy day, it's on the way. You know.
Storm is coming.
The drought season, I'm telling you, the drought season is about to hit us. Okay, you know, and so when they say, you know, save your stuff up for a rainy day, yeah, it's coming. You know, and so we just want to pass that off to y'all. You know, we ain't gonna go no further into it, JD. We ain't going no further into it.
Yeah. Because I don't want to argue. It is what it is.
It is what it is, you know. So once again, man, we want to salute all the fathers out there. Yeah. We want to salute all the Juneteenth committees and chair people that put on these events for yesterday and for today. You know, my man JD got to go get his grub on, you know, and I'm about to go get my second grub on, you know. So until we see y'all next week, once again we saluting all the dads. Mm-hmm. You know, let me get my thumb up a little bit.
Hey, and for these events, man, those of you who are not, you know, on any boards or chair or organizing and stuff, hey, go support this stuff. That's how we keep that stuff alive, man. We got to support it and go out there and celebrate it and teach our kids this, because it's not being taught in school. Well, maybe it is now since it's a federal holiday. So now the kids is asking, hey, why is this a federal holiday? So hopefully we can continue to support it and then continue to get that history, that knowledge spread out there so it doesn't get forgotten or lost in the sauce.
All right. God bless you. And we love you.
Hard work, hard work. Hard work, hard work. Hard work, work. There you go. Hard work, work. Everybody doing it right. Hard work, work. Hard work. That's what we say. Hard work, work, work. Earn my pay. Hard work, work. Hard work. Do it every day. Hard work, work. Get up out of 2:45. Hard work, work. Let it go and earn my pay. Hard work, work. Put my boots on and lace them up. Hard work, work. Another day to work.